Hello, I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time here on Times Television. This is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. Coming up in the program today, Malawi misses out on second compact. We have a report. And default rate on the rise despite falling interest rates. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. In our first story today, Malawi has missed out on the second Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact. This means that after expiry of the current compact, which expires in September this year, there will be no renewal. Our reporter, Daunga Sabola, has the detail in this report.
The development means that Malawi will not have a compact program once the current 5-year, $352 million energy compact expires in September this year. The development also comes at a time Malawians were hopeful of a new compact following the country's good performance on MCC scorecard. But at its quarterly meeting on December 19, 2017, the US government's MCC Board of Directors selected Timor-Leste and the Gambia for a compact. And as part of the annual selection process, the board also reselected Burkina Faso, Mongolia, Senegal, Sri Lanka and Tunisia, enabling a development of compacts in those countries to continue. In addition, the board reselected Lesotho after 2 years of hiatus, recognizing Lesotho's concrete steps over the past year that demonstrate a commitment to addressing MCC's ongoing rule of law concerns. In an emailed response on Thursday, U.S. Embassy Public Affairs Officer Edward Monster said the selection of a second compact is not automatic, adding that second compacts are very competitive and are subject to high expectations and greater scrutiny for MCC funding eligibility. Monster said, when considering second compacts, MCC Board of Directors looks for successful implementation of the first compact, a commitment to sector reforms, and continued improvements on the MCC scorecard, especially on issues to do with democratic rights as well as control of corruption. Monster said it often takes time for MCC board to be assured that a country is meeting these higher standards. He said to date, only half of the first compact MCC countries have received the second compact. According to Monster, the MCC board re-examines all eligible countries each December, adding that the board's decision this year does not preclude the board from considering Malawi in future if Malawi continues to pass MCC's scorecard. He said going forward, it will be important for Malawi government to demonstrate a strong and successful closeout of the current compact, including clear measures to ensure sustainability of efforts such as adoption of an electricity tariff in line with the cost of maintaining and expanding the national system, conclusion of the independent power purchase agreements, and sound corporate governance and financial stability of its electricity utility, ESCOM. Monster added that Malawi government needs to show a strong commitment in combating corruption, especially given the trajectory of control of corruption indicator in recent years. Monster said corruption fundamentally undermines economic growth, which is why MCC examines a country's commitment to combating corruption when choosing partner countries and implementing programs. Government spokesperson Nicholas Dausi could not be reached for comment on Thursday. MCC works to improve lives and transform communities around the world by focusing on one mission, which is reducing poverty through economic growth. The agency provides time-limited grants and assistance to developing countries that meet rigorous standards for good governance, from fighting corruption to respecting democratic rights. From Blantyre, this is Daunga Sabola.
Now, Malawi's level of non-performing loans remained high during the greater part of the year 2017. Figures from the Reserve Bank of Malawi have shown. This is despite continued falling in interest rates. We have the detail in this report. Ironically, the rise comes amid a sharp fall in interest rates in the year under review. Most banks attributed the increase in non-performing loans to poor agriculture commodity prices, high cost of borrowing, and continued intermittent power supply, among other things. According to RBM, an increase in the level of non-performing loans led to asset quality deterioration in a number of banks. Wholesale and retail sector continued to remain the dominant sector with highest non-performing loans, followed by manufacturing sector. In the household sector, 40.0% of banks reported that NPLs increased on account of increased retrenchment by institutions, low commodity prices following bumper agriculture harvest last season, and high cost of borrowing. In relation to SMEs, 50% of the banks reported increased NPLs in the SMEs due to low agriculture commodity prices. With regard to large enterprises, 40% of banks reported that NPLs increased in the sector. This was largely due to fraudulent activities by a single large mud borrower customer. However, the slump of agriculture commodity prices following bumper agriculture harvest and subsequent maize export ban also contributed to the increase in the NPLs in the sector. The survey results revealed that wholesale and retail sector continued to hold the highest level of NPLs, followed by manufacturing sector, similar to the previous survey results. However, the survey findings show that majority of banks reported that demand for loans and credit lines increased between April and September 2017, similar to March 2017 survey results. Capitol Hill is mobilizing beef farmers and producers in the country to enhance production and meet the current demand. From Lilongwe, our reporter Chimwemwe Mangaz filed this report for an insight on how the market trends are.
The agriculture sector accounts for 42% of the country's gross domestic product, GDP. 11% of that comes from the meat industry. However, the industry is not properly structured, which authorities believe is the reason it has failed to grow over the years. According to the Department of Animal Health and Livestock Development, Malawi has nearly 4 million livestock farmers. Director in the department, Patrick Chikungwa, emphasized that the industry has the potential to contribute significantly to transforming the country's economy.
We are looking at one of the very important initiatives which government has initiated, sort of taking beef industry towards another step. As much as we have been promoting livestock industry and production in this country, what we have noted that we have been doing it in segments. But this time around, what we are saying is we want to bring together all the key stakeholders looking at the value chains. So when you are talking about beef, let's not just look at the end product, but we want to look at beef from the production point of view. Let's look at the standards themselves, and let's look at the marketing aspect itself up to the consumers. So we are today we are coming up with an initiative where we are saying we need to have a platform for the country which will boost beef industry across the whole value chain. It's very important for government to do that.
He further said, despite failing to meet the local demand, there are huge opportunities across the borders, which requires coordination among the farmers.
Maybe I wouldn't statistically talk about the figures here, but when you look at the contribution of livestock in general in this country, it's quite substantive. Right now we are talking about a contribution of around 11% to our gross domestic product, which is quite substantial. But when we also include in other benefits which livestock is bringing into this country at household level, to the rural masses, it's quite massive. So we just need to improve the livestock industry, more especially the beef sector at this point. And the other important issue is that we also need to look at meeting the demand for the country. You see, when we talk about consumption of red meat in this country, it has been a challenge. We according to our assessment, it's like that we are still not meeting the actual demand. So we are trying to assess why we are not meeting the demand.
Remember, this is Business Time here on Times Television, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. We'll be right back. The Economic Empowerment Action Group says it expects a better year this year in terms of economic empowerment compared to the situation in the year 2017. Its president is Louis Jualo and explains in this interview.
We all know where we are coming from. I think we had a very, very bad last year in as far as insists that electricity supply was concerned, prolonged blackouts actually affected us quite heavily in terms of doing business in Malawi. We hope and hope that we could possibly move ahead if our activities of doing business in Malawi. We have got high expectations, of course, but we are also at the same time looking at what would it be that would actually come in. Last year didn't do us very well. We all know actually these blackouts, these electricity problems gave us quite a number of challenges, so to say. Where as small and medium entrepreneurs actually heavily affected. These actually made not only the SME sector, but we should also look at the bigger sector as well. It really affected to the extent where some of the companies were scaling down, some of them were even closing down. And if you talk over the SME sector, actually they were also heavily affected. Some of them actually collapsed in the process because they couldn't do their businesses and all that. So that really affected the tendency of the operations of our businesses in the country. Indeed, it is a policy that we have been waiting for quite a long time. I know that if that is fully implemented, it will go a long way in to articulate the SME sector so they too can grow. But however, we are lacking one thing, one area where we need to focus on. There should be something like a regulating agency which will have to oversee that this law is fully being implemented. As it is now, we don't have that. I remember when we were discussing about the National Economic Empowerment Policy sometime last year, there was a suggestion that the government should come in with another regulatory authority, something like National Economic Empowerment Commission, which shall have to oversee the implementation of this policy. These are good policies, but they lack some kind of enforcement. So we hope that this year the government will come up with the National Economic Empowerment Commission, and then eventually force the act to actually come into effect. It should come, and if it's implemented fully, we hope that that will actually promote the SME sector as well as the biggest sectors in Malawi. We are business people in Malawi, we are taxpayers, we are employers. It's a known fact that the SME sector and the informal sector are the biggest employers in the world. These are people who have created their own jobs, and they're also employing others as well at the same time, and also paying taxes. So the more the government will do to promote them, all they're doing is actually to make sure that this kind of businesses should also be seen to be flourishing, growing, and eventually the government can come in return collecting taxes. So we hope that this year the government will come up with this kind of an organization that will oversee the implementation of the policies. What the government is saying, or rather what we are saying, what we've been advocating for over the years, is that much as we appreciate that we are living in a liberalized market, where competition is promoted, we also believe that there should be some kind of deliberate policies which should actually entail and make this kind of small and medium entrepreneurs grow. Because if you leave them actually compete with the bigger kind of players in the industry, it will disadvantage these small and medium entrepreneurs. So what the government is simply doing is that they want to see that all these two should have to grow to a certain level, so that at least we should be able to compete at a certain even level playing field. Because as it is now, we still believe that these are some of the major players, and without any deliberate policy of that nature, I think we're not going to achieve any economic growth in as far as growing up their businesses in the long run. So basically, what we're saying is let's give these guys a chance, the small sector chance, so that these two should grow and be able to compete on the same level with the bigger players. We have to stand here and applaud the Reserve Bank of Malawi for having come up with that kind of policy, bring it down to at a certain manageable level. I'm told maybe it might also go down in the next few months. That is a key area where we also believe that, you know, it can actually assist in terms of, you know, capital investments. People should be able to go to the bank and borrow money and run their businesses properly. As it was in the past, it was very difficult. Interest rates were eating out it more, and that made even the running of their businesses difficult. So in terms of doing business in Malawi, that would also promote some kind of, you know, growth in the economy that would subsequently drive the small and medium enterprises and make them grow as well. So I believe those are some of the things that we've been looking forward to. So we can actually sit here today and brag that, you know, these are the things that we've been actually been fighting for, and at least we managed to get something out of it.
And moving on with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. One of the country's commercial banks, FDH Bank, says it's committed to improving education in the country. William Pinganjira is Deputy Managing Director for the bank and was speaking when the bank committed about 16 scholarships to 16 University of Malawi students. We have the detail in this report.
FDH Bank Deputy Managing Director William Pinganjira said as a homegrown bank, it appreciates the importance of education to the development of a country.
As you are aware, FDH Bank values education a lot, and most of our staff are actually alumni of this University of Malawi. So it was with great pleasure that when we started talking to the management of Chancellor College, we decided that this would be the right thing to do in order to advance the education sector. The partnership is initially for 4 years, or for those who might be chosen to do a 5-year course, then we'll sponsor them for 5 years, and it will keep rolling over when the students graduate. In terms of us, it gives us an opportunity to interact regularly with the students, and it allows us to ensure that we're also able to recruit the best and talented kids from the university. When they come through making attachments with us, or when we are looking at their results, and ensure that as FDH grows, we've got the best minds working with us.
University of Malawi Vice Chancellor Professor John Kalingasaka thanked FDH Bank for the gesture.
This is a momentous occasion. We are happy because this investment will allow the 16 students to pursue their studies peacefully, concentrate, and indeed realize their ambitions after 4 or 5 years, depending on the program. So both the student community and us, particularly the beneficiaries, were very happy that we went into this partnership to support their education in the University of Malawi. So you will see from my face, it's radiating with happiness. It's interesting, while government through the loans board supports students through the applications and so forth, you always have about 10 to 20% of the student community, which translates to probably every year when we recruit about 2,500. So 250, because this is the largest university, probably about 5,000 students. And therefore, if we can mitigate that shortfall, it will mean that more students will have scholarships.
Now, in other business news, Rumpi-based fisherman Kenneth Msoya emerged the second winner of a pickup vehicle in the ongoing Kwatenta promotion by TNM. TNM says it's already impressed with reaction from its customers. Sobuza Ngwenya is the company's marketing manager and explains in this interview.
So far, the promotion has been quite an exciting journey, which we started on the 9th of November 2017. And we saw that in the first draw for the grand prize, a lady from Chirimba, Linda Ngluwe, won the prize, the grand prize, which is a brand new Toyota Hilux pickup. And then today, we're seeing that somebody from a completely different area, in a rural area in Mlowe, in Rumbi, Mr. Msowoya, has won this grand prize. And we're so excited, and we can see that the journey is getting exciting because we can see that both rural and urban customers are participating in this promotion. As TNM, we're very satisfied with what the participation of our customers with the promotion. It's achieving its objectives. First and foremost, we want the first objective is that we want our customers to get back some of the profits that we are getting as TNM. And as a way of giving out in this promotion, we've seen that we are able to give prizes to over 720 customers so far. And then we've given out 2 vehicles. And the total investment in this promotion being 100 million kwacha, which is going to go into the pockets of Malawians, both our subscribers and our partners. We are so excited that we're able to fulfill the objectives of this promotion. But apart from that, we also wanted the recharges to be able to grow. We are seeing that growth in our recharge numbers, and we're so satisfied with that. Our customers should expect that this promotion is continuing. 2 vehicles have indeed gone, 1 more to go. We want to ask our customers, there is still a chance to be able to win in this promotion. We want you to continue recharging. A recharge of 200 kwacha or more can give you the chance to be able to be one of the winners of the final prize, the grand prize of the Toyota Hilux pickup. And therefore, we want you to ask you to recharge more so that you can be able to have a chance to win. But moreover, one of the things that we can also tell our customers is that as you recharge, even if you don't win these lucky prizes, you're already a winner, because every recharge gives you an instant bonus in terms of minutes as well as data.
And on Wednesday, Airtel Malawi conducted a draw of its Kufira promotion. Our reporter, Chimwemwe Mangazi, attended the draw from where he filed this report.
Nanseta could not hide his excitement at the news, stressing that the money will completely transform his life.
Team of tsunami for 1,000 waje. Ndio Reserve mission ya 200 waje. 200 waje but tsunami winali yesi. Ndi maogona Davuja.
He said that he was earning 50,000 kwacha a month from his tsunami business, which was not enough to sustain him and his siblings. Tokozani Kankondo is Airtel Malawi's head of voice, SMS and VAS.
So far the response has been good. Remember when we first started with this promotion, we started it in October, where we were only giving minutes and SMS. So when we went out there to the market, customers responded. They told us their feedback. So we adjusted the minutes. At first, we were using them from 11 p.m. to 4. So we got the feedback, and then we adjusted to use from 10 p.m. up to 4. And then on 1st December, it's when we added the cash prizes and data benefits. So far, customers are very excited. We are seeing increase every week in the recharges. So far, all our winners, the ones that we call, the ones that we're able to reach, they're so excited about the cash prizes. Actually, they're more excited to receive the cash than giving them something. So because with cash, they are free. They have the freedom to do whatever they want. Because so far, one of the winners, the first winner, is going to build a house. And then last week's winner, we are going to hear what he's going to do on Friday. He's not yet decided because he says the money is just too big for him. He's a Kampaza man, so 1 million is just something that he don't know what to do. So they are very happy that we are giving cash prizes instead of giving us something that they don't need. But cash, they have the freedom to do whatever they want to do in their lives. So as Airtel, we are happy because we are changing people's lives. Because we understand people's needs are different. So you can't just generalize to say we are going to give something to everyone else. But cash, everyone has the freedom to do whatever they want. So we are happy that our customers are excited about it.
The competition requires customers to top up airtime not less than 100 kwacha to qualify for weekly draws. 4 times in Lilongwe, I'm Chimwemwe Mangazi.
Well, on that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time here on Times Television. Till next week, on behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.